Hello guys, we are back doing sew-alongs. I am getting my cushion sorted. Put my little bits here. We've got no one on at the moment. I'm just going to make sure I've got my instructions there. Oh, I forgot to thread up my needles. I'll just do that now. You can see 2 people are coming on. That's exciting. It's nice to be back here, guys. Oh, let's thread that needle. I'm not going to be able to do it now, isn't it? I tell you, threading needle pressure. I've changed the angle a bit. I'm hoping. Also moved along. What I'm hoping is that you'll be able to see a lot more from here. Guys, Rosie is online. She's there to answer your questions today whilst I'm sewing. So do go ahead and ask the questions. But before, we haven't done this in a while, so let's just chat a little bit. I've got to actually do my interfacing, so we could prep that. Hi guys, hello. So that's, I can't see your name, but you're joining us from Germany. Hello, international. Thank you for joining us. Let's get this up on the table. So you may have seen on social media that we have now announced that we're coming back with a much fuller schedule of sew-alongs. So basically what happened was, hello, hi Kim, oh, hi Fiona, nice to see you all. So what I decided is that we are all kind of back into potentially lockdown or form of lockdown. Hi there. I just thought that, well, we all could do with a little bit more of sew-along love in our lives, because we are kind of going into this second kind of lockdown phase. And I think that for me, I think I said this on social media over the weekend, that I feel like the sew-alongs for me and lots of our customers, and I know that because you've told us, the sew-alongs were a bit of a lifeline, and they really helped you guys gather together, form that sort of online community, but also just keep you sewing, keep you motivated, keep you inspired. And so we decided, we had a look at it, and we decided we're gonna come back 3 times a week from this week. So it will be mainly me, but also maybe a little bit of Becca. And we're going to be doing all sorts of projects from the new PDF pattern, which we've said that we'll always do. So like the Esther Blouse today, but also some one-off kind of sew-alongs for other patterns, simpler patterns. We're also going to be looking at doing some really beginner stuff, so that those of you who are absolute beginners can feel like they can join in. And also you might know somebody that, you know, is thinking about it, you could send them our way. And beginner or not, it's nice to sew some simple projects. So there's going to be lots more. The full schedule is not like the full schedule, even though we've scheduled all the way up to Christmas. It's not all up, but you can certainly see the next 2 weeks. So yeah, you'll be seeing lots more of me, guys. It'll be just like it was back in the spring, where, yeah, not quite daily as it was at one point there, but still. So today we're sewing the Esther Blouse, and I'm just sort of prepping here my interfacing. Now I'm wearing the Esther Blouse. This is the newest pattern to the Sew Over It family of PDF only patterns. This has been so popular, this pattern, and I think, you know, obviously I think it's a nice design. I'm biased, but I think it's really great for all sorts of different figures and all sorts of different styles and all sorts of different ages. And also I think at the moment a lot of us are really incentivized to do tops and make things like that, because maybe when we're Zooming you'll see them. But also it helps you kind of, I love a blouse because what I love about it is the fact you can wear it with jeans, or you can wear it with something smarter, but they're really versatile. And at the moment, as we're kind of in this sort of semi-casual, semi-formal, whatever, I don't know if you're working from home, then it allows you to kind of feel like you're a little bit dressed up, but not so much so that you feel a bit out of place sitting there working from home in that outfit. I have mentioned actually that I'm going to do a little Zoom what to wear type thing. So So I'm now seeing comments and I really want to do, yes, we're getting someone saying how they're wearing it with a roll neck. Yeah, absolutely. Cardies, great with cardies. So yes, anyway, so I'm going to do a little Zoom series, I think, on how to dress at the moment. So that's coming soon on IGTV, on our Instagram, but just to kind of help us all define between work and kind of home time, even if work is at home. Oh, thanks guys, I'm getting comments about my hair. Do you know what, this happened the other day because I put an Instagram story up on Lisa Comfort Home, and a lot of people were like, oh, you've had your hair cut. And I was like, oh, I've not. What I have done is I have just dried it differently because I didn't have time to curl it. But do you know what? It's I'm really enjoying it because it's nice and neat. I get my big brush, I curl it under the fringe, and I don't then have to tong it as well. So thanks guys. Means it's saving me lots of time in the morning. Right, so what I'm doing, I'm putting it on no steam, and we're just interfacing the facing pieces, the front facing pieces for the blouse. So rough side of interfacing down. I don't know if my iron's hot enough. Let's put it up a little bit more. I don't think it's fusing. Feels really, I feel like a little child. Hello. It's too big at the table for me. It's not actually fused there, has it? No. Try again. So it feels like it's fusing a little bit more. So we're just putting the interfacing on the back of the facing pieces here. I'm going to turn up a little bit more because it's still not fusing. Now, you might want to know, some of you, why we use interfacing. You might just kind of do it because that's what the instructions say, but you've never really known why you need to. Well, you need to interface because what that does is it adds extra strength to the fabric to help support the neckline and hold it in shape, or whatever it is doing. It might be a collar, you need it to hold its shape better. It also helps things stop from stretching. You can see actually already my facing pieces, and I literally have just cut them and then put them in a bag and cut them out over the weekend, and they have already stretched because it's viscose, and viscose is a little naughty fabric when it comes to stretching if it's on the bias. So I'm using this really pretty viscose fabric that we spotted, Rosie and I, recently. How gorgeous is that? So pretty. And we will be doing, yes, I'm making the blouse I'm wearing. This is the Esther blouse. And this fabric, we have got it in two colourways. We've got it with a pink, like the hot pink as the background, and we've got it with this navy background, and I think it is gorgeous. I do believe Rosie is popping up the links. If you're watching this after the live, there will be in the description box below, as will the link to the pattern. I think she's currently number 3 for the year, old Esther is. She's doing very well, very popular. It's always lovely to see when a pattern's really popular. And some of the pattern insiders have made some gorgeous versions. Someone's actually made a dress from one, which I just think is a fabulous idea. You have to put a waist seam on it, I guess. I haven't actually seen how she's done it in detail, but really lovely idea. It looks fab. And the side buttons are really flattering for a dress as well. Come on, Mr. Interfacing. Why are you not fusing? Hello. Oh, it's nice to see you guys are chatting to each other. It's been a while, hasn't it? Definitely into autumn now. I did actually the other day, I was working from home and I put the fire on. Had a fire, but the problem with that is I then forgot about it because I got my head engrossed in something and then I let it go out. Not got it on today. I think that's properly on. There's a little bit of that. I'm just going back and seeing where it's fused and not. Okay. So if you're new to sew-alongs, guys, if you've not watched one of these before and you're watching it for the first time, basically what I will do is sew live and waffle. There'll be a lot of waffle, but and talk you through what I'm doing as I'm sewing up the pattern. Now there's never do we get, unless it's very simple, do we get it all finished in the sew along. But at least you see some parts of it, and you can see how you can get started on your project. Sometimes I just focus on the hard bits, but today I just, because we've got 2 sessions, I'm just going to do the, I'm just going to work my way through it in the order that we talk about. Now, what we're going to need to get started, we are going to need to do some overlocking on these little pieces, but we're going to need our back neck facing, which is this piece, yeah? And we're going to need our front piece for the blouse, which is this piece, okay? Now, I don't have any of the interfacing with me that's like an interfacing sort of iron-on tape. We do sell it online. Rosie, do we have it still in stock at the moment? If we don't have it in stock, I'm sure we'll be getting it back in. But this is really lovely stuff that you'll be able to, you put on curved edges of some, you don't do it every time, but for some things that you're worried are going to stretch a lot, especially if it's in a drapey fabric like a viscose, you put this on to the seam allowance and it helps support it. So we don't have, I don't have any, so if you don't have any, yeah, we've got lots in stock. Well, there's loads in stock, so that's great. But if you don't have any, what we can do is a stay stitch, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to stay stitch down this edge of the front piece, and we're also going to stay stitch around the neckline of that one. Oh, thank you. Someone's commenting on the, yeah. Oh, talking about your fabrics, guys. Lovely. Thanks for the compliment on the posters from Sri Lanka. Morning, Teresa. Nice to see you here. I'm saying morning, guys, to Teresa because I know that she lives in the States and it's definitely morning time there. Right, so we're just going to stay stitch now. I'm just going to increase the stitch length a little bit to 3, and we're going to stay stitch within the seam allowance of 1 centimetre. I need to just check that actually. It should be 1 centimetre around the neckline. Yeah, it's 1 centimetre. So that's 3/8 of an inch for those of you that like imperial measurements. And the stay stitching will also help stabilise that edge. So there we go. It's just stitching along a single piece of fabric, and you'll think that, I remember when I first started learning to sew, I was like, why are they making me do this? I don't think it's going to do anything, and so I never used to do it. It does do something. Believe it or not, it does do something. Right. So we are going to trim those ends off, and then we're just going to stay stitch these bits as well. Now, if you have got the interfacings tape, you can be putting that on, ironing that on. I wouldn't recommend using a cotton stay tape for this because that is just going to add a little, it's going to be a bit too heavy. Okay. Oh, there's a problem with, oh dear, supplies. I know we had a little tweak of the website, but I'm sure Rosie will be getting onto that soon. Okay. So just, what I'm being careful here, can you see? Push it. Bring it a bit closer. What I'm being careful with is I'm not stretching it, so my hands are kind of pushing this towards the presser foot because I don't want to overhandle this because I know there is a stretchy point on this fabric. It's not quite the bias, but it's not far off it. So there we go. I'm so excited, guys, about this Esther, because I have just treated myself, it was my birthday recently, and I've treated myself a little birthday treat to another cardigan. I will stop my cardigan obsession, but do you know what? What helps me wear all my handmade things is having cardigans. And I've got one in this lovely pink, and I haven't had a pink cardigan before, like a wintry pink cardigan. So I'm very excited that I'll be able to wear them as a combo. And we're still going to be continuing to do the makes videos at the end of the month or the start of the following month if you have been following those on YouTube. So basically what I realised is it wasn't very fair that you kind of got to see me make the half of them and then you never got to see them finished. And I do think that that's half of the kind of learning process of sewing, is seeing what fabrics look like made up. So we will be doing that. That won't be a live stream, that will just be a pre-recorded thing, but I'll let you know when I'm doing it, and we'll obviously point towards it as well on social media. But I did one for last month, so you can see the makes that happened last month. Right, we've done that, lovely, lovely, jubbly wubbly. I think we're going to move on to some overlocking or zigzagging now, guys. Let's just trim our threads off as we go. We do not want tangly tails getting in the way, getting me all annoyed. So put that to one side. Woo! Yes, we are going to, where did I put the little one? Right, we are going to overlock now this bottom straight edge of this piece. So let's do that first. Now, what shall I do? Can I lift it up? It's quite nice if I keep standing up because you get to see the blouse a little bit more. Hoopla. It's like Spaghetti Junction with Leeds down there again. Oh gosh, I've just sat on the cushion. I think I better move that cushion. As lovely and comfortable as it is, it's going to get in the way if I keep going up and down. So if you haven't got an overlocker, you can just zigzag this, guys. And you might find that it does bunch everything up a little bit when you zigzag a single layer of fabric, but don't worry too much. You can try tweaking your tension a little bit, but as long as it's bound the edge, I think that's fine. And when you can give it a nice press afterwards, and that should help flatten it a little. If you've got an overlocker, you can overlock away along this bottom straight edge. And if you're new to overlocking, guys, or if you're not new to it, but you haven't realised, we actually have now on our Stitch School, which is our online learning platform, we now have, an overlocking course with Becca and our overlocking guru, Layla. Right, that's done along that edge there. So you can really nail the overlocking and really get to grips with it. I've got to trim off some of this interfacing. Can you see? That often happens with interfacing. Oh, hi Sal. Sal was about to go to sleep. He's in Australia, I think. I know. Yeah, much later on there. So yes, it does happen sometimes with this very fine interfacing that you iron it on and it stretches. You do not want that, and then you just have to trim off this extra bit, because otherwise it can be a bit disconcerting when you're lining it up and you can't see so clearly where the actual fabric edge is. So let's just trim that off. So what are people sewing right now? Who is sewing and what are you sewing? Let us all know. It's always nice for us all to know what everyone's sewing, because some people might be sewing this. Other people might be just staring bleary-eyed into the screen with a cup of coffee because it's 5 AM, Lorianne. And other people might be just sewing something else. So let us know what you're sewing. Trimmy, trimmy, trimmy. Stitching orders at the moment. Oh, wow. Sewing the Esther with me. Someone's doing it, just finished an Edie dress. Someone else, Tina's sewing the Esther as well. Pencil skirt. Blurry-eyed coffee hair. Oh, in the middle of a Nancy in a Rome. Oh, I haven't thought of Nancy in a Ponte. That's a great idea. Organising the sewing room. Oh, lovely. Love a good organise. Love a good organise, although I'm not very good at it. You'll see I had to enlist my friend's help. If you follow me on Lisa Comfort Home, you'll see I got her helping me. Christmas cards. Oh, nice. Oh, I love all that sort of stuff. I have to say, I love getting into the old crafting when it comes to Christmas. It is just the nicest thing, isn't it? Especially, as the nights draw in, getting all, all cosy inside and having a little bit of a make, whether it's Christmas cards or decorations or making presents. Somebody's drafting a t-shirt. Wow, with their son. Brilliant, guys. Well, we're all doing lots of different things. Okay, I'm just sorry. Let's get this last little bit done. Oh. No, there's still more. Talk amongst yourselves, guys. Oh. There we go. I've got the heater on behind me, and I think by the end of it, guys, I might have passed out with heat. It's like a sauna in here. I've found recently that, because I've been doing a lot of sitting at a desk recently, or a table, doing my work for my business course that I'm doing, I've been getting really cold and my lips have been going blue. So I thought the last thing I want to do on my Sewalong is to feel really cold. So I pumped the heating up. Now I'm too hot. Aww, somebody's just watching it for company. Well, that's nice. Ooh, I saw a Leah dress pop up there and I didn't finish reading it. So, oh, carry trousers. Oh yeah, Rosie, you want to make the carry trousers, don't you? The carry trousers, we reckon, are a really good work from home trouser. And Rosie, are you going to make them in jersey? We'll find out. Okay, right, so now we're overlocking the outside edge, guys. So if I'm holding that like that, this is the edge that we're going to overlock, okay? So overlocking this edge. So whizzy alongy on the overlocker. Okay, there we go, one done, one to go. And then we can actually, I always feel that when you're doing these little bits of the sewing, you're not actually doing the sewing, you're not actually getting the garment made. I mean, obviously it's part of the process, but once you start putting things together, then it feels satisfying. Voila, both of those are done. So now I'm going to put this on the floor and I'm going to get the sewing machine up. Oh dear. Oh, Mr. Iron, don't burn me. I have to say, guys, I am enjoying not having a million bruises for my sew-alongs. Those of you that didn't watch it through lockdown, I must have bruised every single part of me. Managing to walk into things, bash my head on things. I think it's something because I've got a lot of things here and I feel quite restricted, so I end up bashing into things. I've got good spatial awareness, I don't think. Okay, right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to join the facing to, can you see kind of what I'm doing? I wonder if I can, should we try just lowering this a little bit more? Oh yeah, that's better. You're going to lose the top of my head, but I don't think you'll mind because you'll be able to see more. So we are going to place the facings right sides together with the front pieces that we stay stitched. So that's not the right side. This is the right side. I know, wait a second, I'm getting into a muddle. It was the right side. Okay, so the overlocked edge is sitting on the inside, that's going to be that bit, and we're stitching on, we're doing this bit here. Okay, so I'm going to line it up, we've got some notches there to help us. I'm actually going to, because I want to sew from the top down, so I'm going to flip this so that the facing's on the other side, so that I'm thinking about how it will be on the sewing machine. And I'll start at the top and work towards the hem, so therefore all the fabric will need to be to the left, and therefore I'm going to have to turn it over. Now we have got some little bit of stretchiness, so I'm just going to line up that corner there and then just see what we've got if we do need to do a little bit of easing. A little bit of easing is needed, but not too much. We look like we're all right. And a little bit of easing here, where the facing has been stabilised by the interfacing a bit, not stretched at that point. It's really important that you do use your notches because they're going to help you check whether things have stretched or not. So I'm at this point down here, and there's a notch here, there, and that notch is not actually aligning with this side, so I'm going to have to, the blouse has stretched a bit, so I'm going to align that notch, and that extra bit that I'm seeing there, you see that? I'm going to ease that in. So I'm going to use my pins, and what I do with easing, it's hard for you to see this, by the way, we're going to work on getting a close-up if we can, although I don't know if we can do that for YouTube, but we'll try. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, so for that, we're going to pop, so I'm using my pin to then push back to the tip of the pin, and that stops you from scraping too much fabric or misaligning things. You just tease a little bit back. There we go. So you can see now, that should stitch in okay. It's just that last bit might be a little bit volumey. You might need to divide that bit in two. Oh, it's raining. It was a lovely morning this morning, and now it's raining. Oh well. I've also got a funny little bit there that's just not been cut straight, so I'm just going to go back and just trim that so that that's, I don't know what happened there. Sometimes with viscose it hops underneath the paper when you're cutting it out. And then I'm going to now see what the deal is along here. So notches there aligning okay. And here we've got a notch here, so sort of almost halfway in the middle along that front edge, and there's aligning okay as well. Pop that in. So if you have done the stabilising interfacing tape step, then you will find that it's much easier to trust one side, the side that you've interfaced, so the actual blouse side, because it may be that both of my edges have stretched a little bit, so both my facing and my blouse, but they're still lining up okay. Okay, there we go. So that's it on the back there. Now the neckline is a centimetre seam allowance. It's pretty much standard for our patterns, and certainly our new patterns that we bring out. It's a centimetre seam allowance, or 3/8 of an inch for a neckline, and then generally all our other seams are 5/8 of an inch, or 1.5 centimetres. So I'm going to start at the top here, lining up with my number 10 on my machine, do my little reversing, and off we go. So you should be covering or going to the left of your stay stitching if you're sewing from this side, and you can see your stay stitching on your front blouse edge, because that was meant to be stitched within the seam allowance. Now we're coming up to that corner and we're going to pivot there. So what we're going to do is we're heading to the corner. When we get to the corner, we want to stop a centimetre before the edge. So we're coming down here, then we're pivoting, and then when we need to stop a centimetre before that straight edge we're going down. So it looks like I've got to that. So I'm going to put the needle in, lift up the presser foot, pivot round, and then if you turn it round and you're lined up with the 10, you'll know you're fine. If you're not, you can always go back and redo it, or you can just go back and reverse a little bit if you've gone too far. Okay, so I'm going over that little bit of easing now, and I might just be a bit naughty and leave those pins in, because I just find that sometimes with viscose the easing moves along, it ripples down, and then before you know it, all that hard work of pinning it and easing it in, it's all undone. That's fine. Okay, one side done. We now need to do the other side. Let's do that. to get interfacing everywhere. And that one. So we're doing right sides together. Okay, and lining up the non-overlocked edge with the raw edge. Let's see if I can see some of these comments whilst I'm pinning this. I get proper FOMO, guys, when I'm doing this because I miss half your comments. Oh, what's someone saying? Oh. Oh. At the moment, my schedule's so busy. The moment I finish this, I have to get on to the next thing. I've just looked down and I missed another one. So I won't have a chance to even go back and look at them. Sometimes I used to be able to do that in lockdown. Back at mum and dad's, I'd be able to just go, I'd have a little bit of time just to go back and look at them. Ooh, 1960s coat. I'll let Rosie tell you about that one. So, my course is going really well, thank you. For those of you that don't know, I'm doing a business course that's for up until Christmas. That's very intense. It's a bit like an MBA, but even more, it's far more intense, I've been told, because there's other people who are on the course who have done MBAs and they're like, this is crazy. It's a growth accelerator course. So basically it's with Oxford Uni and it's sponsored by Goldman Sachs. And they basically have kind of taken on these entrepreneurs, business owners that have potential to grow their businesses, and they help you with your business and analyse it. And what's wonderful is that I've never learned how to run a business, just learnt on the job. And that's true of a lot of people, I think. Unless you've come from a corporate background and you're involved in certain parts of strategy of companies, of businesses, then you won't have any formal training or know about all of these different things that we're learning about. And so it's been amazing to learn about the business and just spend time on the business. But it is incredibly intense, and the pace that they go at is insane. So one week it's marketing, the next week it's branding, the next week it's like analysing, leadership skills, the next week it's finance. It's just, you've really got to go at it. And I think they told me it would be about a day a week in the interview. No, not a day a week, 3 days a week. So it's been a lot, but I'm getting so much out of it, and it's very much one of those things, the more you put into it, the more you get out. And in 10 years, or almost 10 years, 9.5 years that I've been running the business, I've never had time to spend on looking at the business, and it is so valuable being able to do that. So yeah, I feel very lucky, even if not a little bit overwhelmed. Right, needle in. Pivotty wibbity. No, it's not too, it's not enough. So I'm going to do the next bit by hand. I think just one more stitch, and then when I pivot it should line up beautifully with my number 10. Yes, it does. But yeah, I'm using parts of my brain. I feel like I've been dead for a while. Oh, thank you. I don't know about me giving courses. Oh, but thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I certainly will feel a lot more confident about running a business after I've done this course. Already I feel more confident. And what's great is you basically spend the course looking at your business. So there's no point in learning about other people's businesses unless it's within the context to explain something that they want you to do and give an example. But yeah. Right, okay, so we've done that now. Now I think we are going to move on to understitching straight away. Don't think we're trimming anything down. No, we are going to turn it. Yes, exactly. We need to turn this through. So where the corner is there, we're just going to turn that through. And then, like so. Someone's just joined us late. Welcome. Join us at any time. And if you need to watch it back, you can. So we just turned it through like that. Now with understitching, sorry, often it's kind of the correct thing to do is not to do any ironing or pressing before you've understitched it, because you can stretch it out. So you should do your understitching first, because sometimes you have to press this to one side. Sometimes you say that, but actually I do believe we are not going to be doing that, because we might stretch it. And I think that's particularly relevant when you've got something like this that is almost hitting the bias. You don't want it to stretch any further before you've understitched it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the seam allowance towards the facing, and we're going to understitch that. So understitching is essentially anchoring the facing to the seam allowance to help it sit inside the garment better, and also stabilise it to prevent further stretching. So the easiest thing, I think, when you're understitching and lining up to do it is line up the seam that you've just sewn, so where you've joined the facing to the blouse, in with the middle groove in the middle of the foot, and then move your needle across. There we go. And then we can understitch. Now we're going to go as far as we want to go, far as we can go when we get to the corner, but we're not going to be able to go all the way up, so we just go as much as we can. And keep this open, pulling this open, and feeling that you've got that that seam allowance going towards the facing. That's really important. Okay, that's as far as I can go. I'm about 1.5 centimetres from the corner, so I'm going to stop there. So I don't want to stretch it and get a funny distorted corner. That's fine. And then we'll go and do this bit. I'm going to work from the top down for this. So I'm going to have to change my position of my needle. So lining up the centre groove on the middle of the presser foot with the join between the facing and the blouse, and then move it across. Okay. And down we go on this side. And then once we've done this, we can get Mr. Iron out and we can do a nice little press of it flat to make sure that it's all crispy crisp along this edge. It's making my eyes go funny. I want to put my glasses on. Put my glasses on. Sorry guys. I found that I'm using my glasses a lot more at the moment, because I'm studying hard. Certainly when I'm doing close-up work, I just want to put them on. My eyes feel too strained otherwise. Okay, right, we're getting up to this point now. From here, I feel like I'm going to be able to get in even less, so probably up to about maybe just under 2 centimetres, and stop. Right, let's trim that and trim this. Okay, and then trim here and trim there. Okay, so can I show you my understitching? There. Okay, so we'll press that in a sec when we can do the other one. So we need to turn this through and do exactly the same with this one. So whilst I'm sewing this, I'll talk to you about the other sew along. What have we got coming up? Oh, on Thursday, so tomorrow I'll be doing more of this, finishing this with you guys, and then on Thursday I'm doing a drawstring bag. Now, normally at this time of year, or around this time of year, we have a little event where we did certainly last year, which was wonderful, where we made drawstring bags and then put toys in them and gave them to the local women's refuge. And we also did little toiletry bags as well. But when we were making them for this event, Alex, who is now training to be a teacher, used to work for us, she showed us, she brought along all of her drawstring bags that she has, and she has got so many little bags. So she's got a drawstring bag for her headphones, she's got one for her phone charger, she's got one for her, I don't know, hairbrush and lipstick type things. And it made me realise, you think with a drawstring bag, you think you've got to make one that's the size of a normal drawstring bag, but actually they're really practical. Especially if you're like me, I have so many things in my handbag, and my handbag is black, so you look inside it and you just can't see anything or find anything. So anyway, so we'll be doing that on Thursday. Nice, easy project, guys. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And Rosie, I believe we're getting in some nice, lovely fabrics for that, are we? Some cottons. Also, guys, they make a great Christmas present. I tell you, I'm definitely doing handmade gifts this year. I think my family would really appreciate them. Maybe I also think you could even wrap presents in them or give presents in them. It's a nice sustainable way of wrapping a gift, and also if you don't want to make the present inside, at least you've made the bag to put it in. But yeah, so that's what we're doing, and Rosie has just linked again to the schedule. We are indeed some nice beginner friendly cottons, or just easy to sew cottons if you're not a beginner. Wonderful. So yeah, we are revising our fabric offering, guys. We sort of have started doing our fabric again, as you know. Sorry, just going down from the other side and going up towards this, okay? Oh, cookies in them. That's a great idea. Teresa's just said cookies, guys. I think that's a nice idea. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yes, so our fabric offering on our site. So we have changed what we started selling fabric again, even though we had initially said we weren't going to, but we just felt that, especially with the sew-alongs, it was really nice if you could get your hands on some of the fabric that I was working with, and we do get so many requests about fabrics that we've used. So we are always going to have the fabrics from the sew-alongs. We're kind of planning it with that. So you can do that. So you can buy the fabric that I'm working with, but also, and then that gives you the confidence, especially when you've seen it made up, it gives you the confidence you know how it's going to look. And we're also going to be selling the sample fabrics as we have been doing continuously anyway. Then one thing, a couple of new things is to encourage more beginners, because we know there's lots of new beginners starting to sew at the moment. We're going to have a nice easy beginner section of fabrics, so things like for the drawstring bag, so nice easy cottons or nice fabrics for all of us that aren't beginners but want to make some kind of more home decor type projects or bags and things. And then the most exciting section, I'm excited because I'm hoping to get hold of some stuff that I can't get anymore, is we are going to be launching our golden oldies section, which is basically fabrics that we can still get hold of that we've used for samples that have been incredibly popular. So if you, we can't guarantee all of the fabrics you've always wanted will be there, but we are trying really hard to source some of the most popular fabrics from over the years, and we're going to have a permanent collection of golden oldies. Things might change a little bit in there, but there'll always be this golden oldies section. So if there's a fabric that you know we've had and used a lot, then you can get your hands on it. So yeah, Rosie, when's the golden oldies section coming? Right, next off the shoulder edge, right. Press the front edge of the blouse flat. Yes, okay, Mr. Iron Time. I didn't see that. I don't know if Rosie said and I didn't see. I'm missing things. Ooh, circular bags for makeup. I haven't seen those. I need to have a look at those. Oh, thanks, Sal. I'm trying this weekend. Woohoo! And thanks, Sal, for that nice comment, Wonder Woman. Don't feel like Wonder Woman, but I appreciate that. Certainly a juggle right now. So this weekend, will you ever sell Indian fabric again? Yeah, if I can get back there. Whenever I can get back there safely. I plan to go there for Lisa Comfort Home. So what I did last time when I went there in January, I did a load of fabric buying, so I would do that if I was going there. I wouldn't go specifically for that, but if I was going there for another reason, then yes, absolutely, I will bring back some Indian fabric goodies. Right, so we're now pressing this. I'm going to work from the facing side, and what I'm making sure is that the outer is rolling in, like so, so that the seam is on the inside of the blouse, and then just pressing it with the old steam. The old steam. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll be telling you all about the old golden oldies this weekend, guys. Make sure you're on the mailing list. Rosie, maybe you could put up a little link for the mailing list, those of you that aren't. If you sign up for the mailing list, you can get 10% off your first order as well. But yeah, you find out first about things on the mailing list, so it's always good when you don't miss out, especially when it comes to fabrics that can sell out like that. But yeah, we'll try and keep them restocked. That's the whole point of the golden oldies. If things sell out, we'll get it back in. And hopefully as our suppliers will keep those stock fabrics going, because if they've been doing them for a couple of years, then they're obviously doing well for them too. Right, just press this other one. How are we doing for time? All the Sew Over It gossip happens here. Hell yeah, Rosie, it does. Oh my goodness, should we call... I would love to have like the gossip newsletter. What's the gossip? What's the gossip happening? Take it out of my head, put it in the newsletter. Oh gosh, I'm steaming up. Take the glasses off. Right, so just gently pressing along here, guys, making sure that that rolled edge, so the seam is sitting on the inside, the outer is rolling in. And that's looking, look already. Da-da-da. Okay, I'm going to aim, guys. We're going to do a couple more steps, I think. We've got about 15 minutes left, so let's try and add the side front on. We do need to do a little bit of machine tacking as well, because we need to machine tack along this edge here, anchoring, holding that in place. Because it's quite a wide facing. We need that to just keep in that position whilst we're... for when we go to attach the shoulders and things. So just pin them first. Like that. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay. They've unsteamed. Sal, I saw what you were saying. Steamy, steamy. I'm just quickly going, what are we saying? Oh, Lorianne, I crack you up. I'm glad I crack you up. I'm here not only to hopefully impart some sewing wisdom, but also to make you all smile as well. I think we all need to smile a bit more at the moment. Even if it means I'm look less professional. How's little Jasmine? Oh, Jasmine's doing really well, thanks. She's not little anymore. Well, she is little, but she's grown up too tall. But she's doing great, thank you. Yeah, and actually, we have got a Poppy and Jazz shoot on Friday for two very gorgeous and wonderful patterns that are going to be, sorry, tell you what I'm doing. That's what I'm meant to be doing. Machine tacking. It's longer stitch length, guys. Machine tacking is essentially machine basting, and we're just running that along the top edge here within the seam allowance just to anchor that in there. Sorry. Jasmine, Poppy and Jazz. Yes, we've got a Poppy and Jazz shoot this Friday to release, and we're going to be releasing two very gorgeous, very giftable patterns. So, oh gosh, Fiona, the good old days, the Sylvia robe, when basically... I think you probably all thought Lisa has no idea what she's doing here, how she's started running this business with this knowledge, level of sewing. That was literally the funniest thing, wasn't it? I do talk about that Sewalong to my friends. I just felt, yeah, gosh, that was wonderful. We all really needed that giggle. I hope I'll be able to provide something similar in the next stint of Sewalongs. Okay. So we're now going to join the side front to here. So we've got this piece. It was funny, wasn't it? What was embarrassing was some people had joined it for the first time. They joined it for the first time, the sew-alongs, and they were like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to learn something on here. The owner of the business has confused me. Fine if you've been watching them all the time and hopefully you knew that I did know what I was doing some of the time. I don't need that. What am I doing? Right, we're getting the side front. Here it is, guys. This piece. I always keep them pinned because it does get in a muddle. So So always have one pin held onto the fabric pieces after I've unpinned them. So we're going to join it in here. So let's do right sides together. So I'm going to lay the front piece there, like so. And this piece is going on here. No. It does look like it's always strange when you have to do this. So this is for the shaping, the princess line seam here. And it does look that it's not going to fit, but the curve, that curve is actually longer than you think. Okay? So we're joining up here with this bit here, that bit there. It's going with that bit there. Like that, so you can see where they line up at those points. Okay, and then we come round. We've got a little notch there, so under the, can see that's the curve of the bust. We've got a little notch just there, so we're going to pop those notches together. Really important. I think, I'm trying to think, yeah, how I want to pin this. I am going to be sewing it from the that way down. But really, when you come to easing that in, you want to be pinning it on that side. Never mind. Then we've got a notch around the waist here. Let's give you context. So there. That's going there. And then we've got the bottom bit as well. Ooh, I know what I need to say. Oh, thanks. 40% sewing. 40% left. 60% left. Okay, so now we're going to ease this bit in. So what I'm doing, I'm using this finger here and I'm lining up. So I'm going this finger here. So I'm lining up the two and then I'm pushing. Do you see that action? So that is staying steady and that finger is sliding up the amount that needs to be eased in. Because along this curved edge, we need to, this bit here, we need to ease in that bust curve on the side front. So line it up, index finger in the middle, and then just push up a little bit on the curved edge, which is the side front. What did I have to tell you? I had something to tell you guys and I've forgotten what to tell you. It's obviously very important. Now though, that's now pinned, guys, so I'm now going down this edge here. Oh, I know what it was. The marathon. Some of you very kindly sponsored me for the marathon because I was meant to be running the marathon this year. And then obviously it got postponed and then they weren't really sure if it was going to happen. And then they said, oh, we'll just do it virtually. By which time I just thought it wasn't going to happen. So it stopped training really. I also injured my knee at the end of lockdown back in York. Turns out that injury, I think, was not from running, but from kneeling down doing the orders. Because if you remember, I was doing the fabric orders, Rosie was doing the copy shop pattern orders, but I was kneeling down a lot and I was kneeling down, 6-7 hours a day, and that damaged my knee. Anyway, my knee is fine, and I have since heard that I have been accepted on the 2021 London Marathon, which will be happening in October. Now obviously we don't know if that will happen, but let's hope that it does. So I'm going to start to train again. It is very depressing. I got to 16 miles when I was at the end of, when I was training before March. I think in March I ran 16 miles. This morning I was in the gym, 3. Thought I was going to be sick. Very annoying. My fitness is completely gone. But the good thing is I'm running. I'm running again. I've been I'm trying to do 2 or 3 runs a week, or at least 2 runs, and then do some kind of toning muscle stuff the other times to build up my muscles. Because I've been told that I really should have been doing a bit more of that, because then it protects your muscles from injury if your muscles are stronger. Anyway, so I'm doing it again, guys. So if you have kindly donated, that donation still is standing there, sitting there, and it will go to Mind, and I will do it next year. Let's hope that I'm allowed to do it. Let's hope they can run it next year. Hopefully by October that should be possible. Okay, so now I'm at that point where I just need to ease in that bust curve. So yeah, I I'm a bit worried though, running it in October, it can be still warm. I feel like April is a cooler month to run in, so, but, because it's right at the start of October, which can be a bit Indian summery in here. Anyway. At least now, guys, we've got an active wear pattern range to wear. I can be running along advertising that. We did design that. I did design that for the marathon, and then we delayed the that coming out on Stitch School. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, on Stitch School we've got 2 patterns. Oh, Rosie, why can I never think about them? The names. Rosie will say what the names are. I can never remember the names of Stitch School patterns. But anyway, we've got 2 patterns. We've got leggings and a workout top on Stitch School. Right, so now I'm going to stitch this. We're going to do a 1.5 cm seam allowance because we're onto a normal seam now, not a neckline seam. We're going to get rid of that because that was in the old stitch length. Do a nice little reverse, and then along we trot. So I'm at that point where I've eased it. I'm just going to put another pin in there because that's moving away, moving apart. The Hubie and Kingsley, thank you. Hubie is a village quite near where I grew up. I can't remember where we got Kingsley from. It must be another village somewhere. The Stitch School patterns are named after villages, whereas our other patterns are named after women. Those of you that are on Stitch School will know that you get all these patterns free on both memberships. And there's so much more stuff we're planning for Stitch School, guys. An abundance of stuff, more fitting stuff as well, because we know how popular that is. And in fact, if you haven't seen it, on Friday on our IGTV on Instagram, we uploaded a video of Julie, the wonderful pattern wizard, and fitting wizard, answering some fitting questions that we asked you guys to send in. So we're planning on doing a little fitting Friday every Friday on Instagram, and then we'll also be adding a lot more of that content on Stitch School as well. Right, there, lovely jubbly. Oh, bye Fiona, have a nice day, thanks for joining us. Yeah, Lorianne, our reason behind it was that we were like, we can't keep coming up with girls' names. We thought it'd be nice to have something a little bit different. And also because they are slightly different in styles, in that they're a little bit simpler and more practical, and they're often, we design them based on a skill that we want to teach you. Yes, it is. Definitely. Although, the only thing I'd say is look, so there was a question there, guys, about can you pull it over your head? You can, but look, it might get stuck on your bust. So it depends on your bust ratio. If you've got a full bust and you fit it in your waist, then you might need to, then yeah, you might not work. Oh, I'm glad you think Fitting Friday is a good idea. I feel like, well, you'll know that I love alliteration. Monday makes Fitting Friday. And yeah, we just feel like there were so many people asking for more of that, and also for people new to sew over it, just to let them know that we have got this amazing expertise behind us, and we want to share that with you all. So yeah, stay tuned for more this week. How are we doing? Oh, we're almost at an hour, guys, so we'll stop after I get to this and we'll carry on. Now, because I just personally can't do any homework, so I'm not going to suggest that we do any homework. I just don't have time at the moment. So we're just going to carry on exactly where we finished today, and we'll just see where we get to tomorrow. So guys, we've done quite well though, haven't we? Because look, we've got like the front bit here. Oh, this is such gorgeous fabric, isn't it? Wow. And then I put my pink cardi on. It's going to look really good with jeans. So yeah, we've got quite far. Oops. tomorrow we'll look at stitching the back and we'll start to create a shape. I don't know if we'll get onto the sleeves, but we might. I've got my little binding pieces cut out, so we'll see how we get on. I think I was meant to do a bit of interfacing on one of those actually, and I haven't, but anyway, we'll see tomorrow. Right guys, I'm taking these off because I don't like looking at myself on the camera with them on. It has gone quick, hasn't it, Vanessa? That whizzed by. Gosh, I can't believe it's been an hour. Anyway, there we go. I'll be back tomorrow, so we'll have more fun then, guys. 1 o'clock, same time, and we will continue with our Esther blouses. Thanks to Rosie for answering all your questions. Thanks to you guys for being here and showing your support and being lovely and talking to each other and making everything wonderful. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.